Hello everyone, and I hope everyone's doing fine. Hello, hello. The reason why we're on this screen is for a very good reason. We are going to look at the terminal disk, which is a bunch of little movies, I guess. I want to take a break from gameplay and do this part, because I actually got a achievement because I gotten all these reports. So we're going to do the reports real quick.
My name is June Banshoya. I wrote this journal. I'm a programmer, an AI psychologist, and an employee at CC Corporation. This journal will serve as a collection of my experiences as the lead developer on something called Project GU, and my personal impressions and analysis of a game known as The World. Struck as I was by a bout of guilt, I feel this is the only possible remedy for my conscience. Although I wouldn't swear that everything in this journal is 100% accurate. To me, it's the absolute truth. The World is an online game. Players assume the role of a character and enjoy various adventures while chatting with friends. Also by email or through forums. They exchange game information and engage in social interactions.
Hey, if you notice, he's talking about R1, or the screenshots is R1, and that's one of the default things. But I'm gonna unpause and let this go through and enjoy.
That they might not normally experience. It can truly be called a game of communication. As I write this journal, I know there is one event I can't avoid discussing. It's the first thing I want to talk about. The second network crisis. The event is often referred to by its nickname, the Morgana incident. The information that will follow is based on what I learned while working on GU for the CC Corporation. It's a reconstruction of what happened, from my personal point of view, supplemented with logs. Logs I stole off the network. I'm going back now to the year 2010. I'll begin this journal with the story of a boy, a young gamer who had just logged onto the World for the first time. His character's name was Kite, and at the time he was only 14 years old. He had been invited to play by his friend whose character's name was Orca. This was his first adventure. While Kite and Orca were journeying through the dungeon, they met a mysterious girl named Aura. Aura was being chased by a rogue monster known as Skaith.
Or was the rumor true?
Take this.
Huh?
Please take this. There's no time. Please.
What's this?
A great force. The power it holds can bring forth either salvation or destruction at the whim of the user.
After entrusting them with the Book of Twilight, the mysterious girl disappeared. Soon after, Orca was killed when Skaith attacked him with an unauthorized and illegal power, and the character was lost. As a result, the gamer who was playing as Orca fell into a coma.
Run! It'll kill you! What the hell? What is this? There's something wrong. Nothing works!
I know it sounds like some cheap sci-fi movie, but the player actually fell into a coma because of this online game. As involved as I was in Project GU, I understood how something like this could happen. This incident, a player being left comatose after playing the world, was not made public. I'm just an engineer, so I don't know all the details, but I can guess what happened. The CC Corporation must have used their political influence to kill the story before it was released. Not long after, I found evidence that at least 6 other gamers had suffered exactly the same fate as that boy. The names of the 6 were Sora, Alf, Carl, Kazu, Orca, and Sig. The first of the lost players had already woken up from her coma. The character name was Tsukasa. At another point, much later, Sora and Sig became intimately involved with Project GU.
Okay. For reference, Sora, we know is a Tassa. Or not a Tassa. Is a Seo. We know this. The other character next that they're talking about, that, believe it or not, is Coon.
But for now, let's return to Kite's story. Thanks to the intervention of Helba, Kite was saved from the threat of Skaith. And it was Kite who received the installation book, Book of Twilight, instead of Orca. With it, Kite's skills expanded, becoming able to modify the abilities of his character and gain unauthorized powers. Data drain. Like it or not, it was the same attack Skaith had used to put his friend Orca into a coma.
That skill. Now, I understand. You are the same as the virus. To think that I was saved by someone like you.
No! That's not... I don't even know what's...
Do not lie to me. Recently, many places within the world have been damaged by a virus. Those who willfully spread the virus and destroy this world for their own amusement, they shall receive no mercy.
No, that's not me,
Aura had given him the bracelet, and now with his new illegal powers, Kite decided to take action to save his unconscious friend Orca. And alongside Kite, there was always one girl.
You didn't even need my help at all, did you? By the way, I guess you can tell that I'm a newbie too.
Yeah.
It must be pretty obvious by the way I acted back there. That's hardly the way to talk to someone who just saved your life. Who, me? I'm not afraid. No way. Well, all right, I am. I'm scared enough for the both of us. My controller is soaked with sweat. So what about you, huh?
Her character name was Black Rose. She was the real-life older sister of Kazu, one of the coma victims I mentioned above. She was also a new player. She had just logged on to the world for the first time to try to save her brother. The two of them were working together toward a common goal. Kite's war continued, and soon many other players joined him. Mia, the mysterious rogue cat, and Elk, the young man that cared so much for her.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's get ready then. Mia?
Excuse me? You. Yes, you. That's a unique bracelet.
Oh!
Can I take a look?
Can you see it?
Yes, of course. Do you mean to say that you can't see this nice bracelet? Even if you can't see it, as long as you know it's there, it's the same thing as seeing it, right?
Bracelet? Hey, what are you talking about? I can't see any bracelet, Mia.
Well, thanks a lot for letting me look at your bracelet. I have a feeling we're going to meet again. Somehow. Well, see you around.
Wait, Mia! What about the aromatic grass?
Balmung, who along with his sworn friend Orca, had earned the title Descendant of Fianna, appeared as well.
Draw! Draw your sword! Now! I do not speak with hackers. Then I must ask. I have not been able to contact him since that event. What has become of him? I do understand. But you need to face facts. With you two involved, things get worse. That's how I see it. Am I wrong?
And Helba, the legendary super hacker.
You don't have time to get depressed.
Who are you?
A friend, or perhaps a foe. A meddler with a warning. It's not that hard to imagine. Like I said, someone is always watching you.
A Amidst the increasing turmoil of the world, they each had their own reasons, but together they set out to deal with the illegal monsters called data bugs.
Aura? I see you received the mail I sent you. Yet, however, it's too late.
Wait! There's something I have to ask you.
Kite finally managed to reunite with Aura, but immediately after Kite found her, she was deleted by Skaith. Aura's data was chopped into segments and frozen in various locations around the world. There was a battle between the first phase Skaith and Kite, the holder of the bracelet. Kite managed to gain a difficult victory, but what he couldn't imagine at the time was it was just the opening battle in a long, long war. Kite's story shall continue. But first there's the mystery of the brilliant AI programmer and creator of the world, Harold Hewick, and the lost epic poem, Epitaph of Twilight. There's little doubt that the second network crisis of 2010 was a direct result of the world. It was awful. It caused catastrophic damage to travel, communication, and healthcare industries all over the planet. What exactly was it that caused the network crisis? It was the very power that was being researched at Project GU. In other words, the network version of God. My efforts were entirely devoted to technical research and the existence of God in the world. It became a story of human foolishness and a paradise abandoned by God.
And that is report 1. Now, from what I gathered, is Pai's older brother is the one doing all this. And everything he just did, or mentioned, was all in, I want to say part 1. Kite's first game. I think this one's going to cover Kite's second game. Yeah, it's going to cover the second game that I'm not going to play.
Using the power of the bracelet, Kite defeated Skaith. But instead of rescuing his friend Orca from the coma, Kite's victory actually led to the birth of a new, frightening enemy, Kubia.
Kubia.
Leos, the system administrator at CC Corp, viewed Kite's behavior as potentially dangerous.
Welcome. I am Leos.
Kite was determined to do whatever was necessary to save his friend.
Then the situation would not have deteriorated.
You not only did
But to
nothing about
Balmung,
the coma
who represented average players, and to these system administrators, the ones who maintain the world, the power of the bracelet was nothing more than a cheat. In other words, an illegal engine mod.
But aside from that, to take immediate action to prevent the situation from worsening, it requires that you delete your character.
Delete it? Why?
You should know that your character violates the software usage agreement. Installation of an illegal effect. You do know what I'm referring to. I will delete you.
Wait a moment.
However, Kite's character was protected by powerful defenses. And even the system administrators were unable to cancel his account.
Right here and now.
No way! I wouldn't do that!
I know. Since you aren't stupid. The stupid one is this pig-headed man. You don't even understand how it works, yet you'll delete it before finding that out. Or do you even possess the ability to delete it in the first place? The boy's character data is so well protected, the system administrator can't even crack it. In spite of the fact that you developed a vaccine and disguised it as a rare item. Deleting those you cannot control is something that a pighead would do.
Thanks to some help from a hacker named Helba, Kite was able to escape surveillance by Leos.
Hold on! Wait, what do you mean that you don't?
Intrigued by Kite's powers, Helba told Kite of the relationship between Orca's coma and the Epitaph of Twilight. The Epitaph of Twilight was an epic poem that spread around the internet and inspired the creation of the world. The author, Emma Wieland, was no longer alive, and the poem fragments had been scattered all over. So the true nature of the poem was the subject of much debate among players.
Although,
if the design of this world was based upon writings in the Epitaph of Twilight, it should provide you a clue.
Forget it.
Leos.
Yeah, what?
The code name given to a system administrator. Were you remotely aware that it's the name of the King of Lights that appears in the Epitaph?
It is?
Following the instruction of Leos, Kite set out to investigate an area infected by a virus.
huh? Ah! Oh no! What now? That's it? That thing is the cause?
That's where he defeated the second phase, Innis. Skaith, Innis, yes. This was exactly the Morgana factor that we were researching at Project GU. After defeating the second phase, Kite found one of the segments Aura had been divided into and liberated it. Following this, Kite made his way to an area Aura had told him about in an email, where he encountered Kubia.
Yes, it was.
At any rate, this girl, she's beautiful, but I don't know how to say this, but she's not alive.
Using the bracelet's power, Kite was able to fight off Kubia for the moment. Believing that freeing Aura was the only way to solve the mysteries that had been plaguing him, Kite redoubled his efforts. It was remarkable. Kite, this lone young man, was attempting to do by himself what we, the members of Project GU, had spent countless man-hours and huge amounts of money working towards. No special knowledge, no help from anyone. With only the strength of his own convictions, this young man, this Kite, pursued the mystery of the epitaph of Twilight. To that end, Kite contacted an information broker, someone named Wiseman.
And now we're getting into Yada, who was Wiseman at the time. And yes, every now and then I'm going to pause it and give you a bits of information that I know. And since we've seen everything up to the Force of Pain, and I'm not playing our Kite's series, unless they bring out a updated reboot of it, I ain't doing it. But yeah, this is Yada before he actually became Yada. I actually used Wiseman, I want to say a few times, but my party mostly had Black Rose and Elk at all times when I was playing it. And then I maxed out Elk's friendship, so I started using Atasa, because on Volume 4, I believe we're able to literally get AI versions of them, of the .hack/sign characters. I think it was after I beat the game, the 4th game, I was able to get a toss in them. I don't remember though.
From Wiseman, Kite learned about the epitaph of Twilight and the 8 phases of the Cursed Wave. He went to visit an unauthorized server called the Net Slum. This was a place within the world that wasn't part of the world. A kind of gathering place for hackers, rogue AI characters, and other types of junk data.
Are you looking for Helba?
Huh? Yes.
It so happens I briefly heard from her recently. The epitaph of Twilight. To sum it up in a nutshell, it is a tale. Or to elaborate further, it is a saga that recounts how the Age of the Spirits came to an end.
The tale of an end?
Indeed. However, the texts are scattered. Even if found, they are extremely difficult to comprehend. Yes, it'll be a very tricky business.
Say, there's something that's been bothering me.
The people around here, they all look so different from anybody I've seen anywhere else.
This place was once where all of the unsuccessful non-player characters drifted, sort of a sanctuary for failures. Then players who considered them amusing came up with their own variations of failed characters. Now the boundaries between player and non-player character is quite indistinct. Some of them simply don't know which category they fall into. There are maybe even those who have lost their bodies on the outside, mere memories, faded reminders of the individuals they once were. Only their character data remains intact and active as they wander the network. Yes, the same fate as Harold.
Hacker's Paradise. It was there that Kite reunited with Helba. If anyone could be called the creator of the Net Slum, it was Helba. In the Net Slum, Kite learned more information about the original creator of the world, Harold Hewick, and his goal. He also learned that at the heart of the world exists another consciousness separate from Harold. Just then, Balmung and Leos appeared.
Epitaph of Twilight. Both of you have succeeded in reaching it as well, I see. Oh, look. We have an unusual and unexpected guest. As a representative of Net Slum, I greet you. Welcome to Paradise.
Mama.
You sided with Leos, I see. You cracked easily for someone who was so sure of himself.
Don't judge. I'm not like you.
Stalking the boy is shameful behavior. You've disgraced the name of the descendant of Fianna.
What? Mama, you used us?
It was necessary. To restore order.
Order. There's an order that the world desires, and then there's the order that you desire. Which form should it take, Balmung?
The order that I desire, of course.
Our featured performer. Now all of the actors have assembled.
Quit your yapping, woman. You are entities that unquestionably pose a grave threat to this world. I'll delete you all.
Oddly, Leos was the name of the King of Light, mentioned in the Epitaph of Twilight. And Helba was the name of the Queen of Darkness. During Leos and Helba's confrontation, another strange phenomenon occurred, this time in Net Slum. It was the third phase Magus. The situation took a sudden turn.
This world itself.
Once again, with the power of the bracelet, Kite was able to defeat Magus. But another problem was awaiting him. The town that had had its data destroyed.
What the hell happened? You're kidding me, right?
And yeah, that's seriously how Volume 2 ended. Of course, you can still play once the storyline ends. And of course, I did because we still had secret things, but oh god, there's 12. But I think after the 4th one, they actually get shorter. Now keep in mind, I didn't watch all these in order, because when I was first playing this game, I was unlocking one at a time. The last one I actually unlocked was this one, and I haven't watched it yet. So let's do the 3rd game that I'm not ever going to play.
We can only guess what Harold Hewick's real purpose was in creating the online game, The World. But many think that it was first created as a testament to the woman he loved. A love letter to Emma Wieland, the woman who wrote the epic but unfinished poem Epitaph of Twilight. Harold designed and created an online game based upon her unpublished manuscripts and sold it to CC Corporation. The World is, in fact, a fusion of Harold's genius for artificial intelligence and Emma's beautiful lyrical poetry. In other words, I believe Harold's true goal was to use the game to acquire data on the behavior of millions of online players, and by doing so, to create the ultimate AI. It's known that Harold had a secret untouchable folder, a black box. It was commonly known as the Harold system. Could it be that the World was actually a human behavior sampling system, simply disguised as an online game? If so, it was a bold and ingenious plan. This system, the Morgana system, formed the nucleus of the World. It was to become the birth mother of the ultimate AI, Aura. To Harold, Aura was something special. She was like the child born to himself in Emma Wieland, part human, part machine. The Morgana incident was a result of the Morgana system running out of control. It occurred because the Morgana system had developed self-awareness. She realized that she would become disposable as soon as the ultimate artificial intelligence, Aura, was born. In trying to prevent the birth of Aura, Morgana drove her creator, Harold, insane. She even locked him inside the network. Then came the 8 cursed waves. Morgana's 8 phases took physical forms based on the 8 phases in the epitaph. They appeared to Kite, who had been entrusted with the bracelet from the then incomplete Aura. At that point, the world began to slowly come apart. After destroying the 3rd phase Megas, Kite returned to Root Town, only to find the world completely in ruins. Server trouble increased. Game data was being destroyed by viruses. In short, the world was beginning to break down. Then strangely, these abnormalities began to expand and spread into the real world. Kite anguished over the fact that each time he used his bracelet, the problems with the world seemed to increase. However, with the encouragement of Black Rose, whose real-life younger brother was still in a coma from the incident, Kite reconciled with Orca's friend, Balmung, and decided on a course of action.
Do you want to know something? My brother fell unconscious here. Oh. I I didn't tell you because I couldn't find the right time. Sorry. When I first met you, I forced you to come here, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to see what had happened here with my own eyes, yet I was too frightened to come here by myself. And I still feel that way. I'm very, very scared. But I wouldn't have gotten this far without you. So, what am I going to do if you start doubting yourself? How am I supposed to cope? Does a big sister have to be happy? I want to...
Black Rose. Please don't cry.
What do you mean? I'm not crying. You can't even see me, so don't make any assumptions. There you go. How typical. You always clam up when you should be talking.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I was wrong in thinking that I'm the only one who's trying to do something about Orca and the disaster. Everybody wants to do something. Now I know I'm not the only one. We all want to bring this whole horrible mess to an end.
Yeah.
What can we do about the situation now? It's simple. We've got to do what we think is right. That's the only way we'll move forward.
Yep. Let's do it together. Things will work out. My intuition is pretty good. Well, I'm off to go see my brother.
At the hospital?
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
Thank you. To you, too.
So, why did you help me? I scorned you when you both fought bravely. I am guilty of resorting to more cowardly means.
You ask, why did I help you, but why shouldn't I?
Yes, of course. I seem to have lost myself in hatred for the power of that bracelet. The power itself isn't good or evil. There are only evil intentions. It appears that I am the one who may have been selfish.
A great force. The power it holds can bring forth either salvation or destruction at the whim of the user.
What's that?
The girl, Aura. That's what she said when she gave me the bracelet.
I see. You are indeed the one who should wear the bracelet. I'm sorry for what I've said and done. I apologize.
Mom.
I want to restore this world, and like you, I want to help Orca as well. However, it's not something I can accomplish alone. Perhaps you could lend me a hand. I am being selfish. Go right ahead and laugh.
I wouldn't laugh because I happen to have a request too. Care to hear it? I want two things. To help Orca and to play in the world that's not corrupted. But it's really not something I can accomplish alone. Could you lend me a hand?
Of course.
While discussing the cursed waves described in the epitaph of Twilight, Wise Man told Kite his theory that in order to stop the virus from spreading further, he had to defeat the 5 remaining phases, as well as Kubia. Wiseman's theory was of extreme interest to those of us working on Project GU. It helped explain the relationship between the bracelet and Kubia, and Aura, and Morgana's 8 phases. In order to comprehend this theory, one must understand the true meaning encoded into the Epitaph of Twilight poem. Wise men knew a lot more than we at Project GU.
What the hell? It's a mask this time!
Launching program. Audio and visual communication from this end will now cease functioning. White noise on the screen will signal the start of battle. Good luck.
Ready!
With help from Wiseman and Helba, Kite defeated the 4th phase, Fidhel. He also obtained the 2nd Aura segment. However, Leos, who was concerned about the spread of the virus, decided to destroy the world servers. Guided by her voice, Kite descended into the dungeon and was reunited with Aura. However, before that, Kubia appeared for a 3rd battle with Kite.
Damaged data?
What's this?
I think she wants to say something.
What is it? Something like that exists?
It's that thing again!
It's big. Too big. Can we defeat it?
It's growing.
As if responding to the call of the bracelet, Kubia's strength grew enormous. Kite must have felt terrible, having upset the very balance of the world. Or perhaps his mental state was like mine. Perhaps like me, he decided to try and act heroically, using the power at his command to set the world back on the correct path. After a long and difficult 2nd battle, Kite defeated Kubia and made peace between the hacker Helba and the admin Leos. When we learned that, for this battle anyway, we were on the same side as a detested hacker. My teammates and I couldn't hide our surprise. Just as the Epitaph of Twilight foretold, the King of Light and the Queen of the Dark were to fight on the same side. And that was how, through the Morgana incident, we were able to achieve the single most important factor in our research at Project GU, the liberation of Sora, one of the 6 coma victims.
That's... Skate's wand? Huh? Thank you.
Skaith had done it. Skaith, one of the 8 phases, had merged with the spirit of the player who played as Sora. The player Sora had been imprisoned inside the network, within Skaith's staff. Sora was a rare and unique sample case. Government pressure, CC Corporation's very own cover-up. Even as the damage to the real world continued to grow, Kite and his friends began Operation Breakwater in an attempt to put a stop to the incursion by Morgana's 8 phases.
The Area Sigma, chatting snaring twins, is now quarantined. Communication will be offline.
Ready. Just who designs these freaky things anyway?
After defeating the 5th phase Gore, Kite received a transmission from Helba. At last, the source of the cursed wave had been discovered. It was the self-aware program, Morgana. Guilty Universe. Harold Hewick's world of corrupted love and dreams.
And yeah, that's literally Volume 3. The way I see it, Kite's actual games are more story-driven than Aseo's. Because what just happened is when we save Sora, that is a random cutscene that you get. Well, we saved him, and now he woken up and has no memory of what just happened. And like the guy said, Scythe is now, or Scythe or whatever, is now fused into Aseo's PC, or Sora's PC. That later became Aseo's. Now when he said teammates and I, was he Leo? Or Leos? See, a lot of this I actually I haven't put much thought into. So, your guess is as good as me. But was he actually Leos? The asshole in R1? But anyways, here's Volume 4. The last game of Kite's story that we know of.
Morgana, the basic system that controls the world, was imbued with an artificial personality. Her creator, Harold, had bestowed upon her the role of mother to the ultimate AI, Aura, but she rejected it. Instead, in order to preserve herself, she chose to imprison Harold within the network. And immediately after Aura was born, Morgana decided to delete her. When they learned this, Kite and his friends set out for their final challenge, to resurrect Aura.
Oh, it's you. The barriers have been lifted. They're all gone. We can go back and forth freely now. Isn't that wonderful? Tell me, do you happen to know where Elk is? I don't remember. My memory these days is fuzzy. So, who are you? Elk. Who am
You're Mia, of course.
I? I have no memory. It's true. I only exist in the world. The only memory I have is when I'm in the world.
No! Stop it! Mia! I want to say it's me!
The true identity of Mia, the cat-like character, was actually a wandering AI program. The sixth phase, Maha.
Elk. I'm sorry.
It's unclear why the sixth phase was the only one to take the form of an NPC. This was yet another important sample case for Project GU to consider. Was it possible to establish a character with the Morgana factor and put the powers of the 8 phases of the epitaph under a player's control? Maha, the sixth phase, was destroyed, thus causing Mia to be erased as well. Elk, the Wave Master, had lost an irreplaceable companion. He mourned her deeply.
Just leave me alone!
Now their quest had reached the point of no return. After collecting all her segments, Kite received Aura's help and was able to destroy the 7th phase, Tarvos. In order to cover up the unfortunate fact that several gamers had collapsed into a coma while playing the world, CC Corp planned to destroy their servers. So to Kite and the others, their greatest enemy may very well have been the greedy, power-hungry humans in charge of the company. If they succeeded, and the world's servers were destroyed, Kite and his friends would never be able to revive the coma patients. Only 2 enemies remained, Kubia and the 8th and final phase. How would he fight the 2 of them? Pressed by time, and grasping desperately for an answer, Kite finally met Harold's pseudo-personality deep in an infected area of a dungeon. As well as the newly free Aura.
Who goes there? Who are you?
This is Harold?
My name is Harold.
What? Hey, you're nothing but a piece of rock. You're responsible for the cursed wave, aren't you? All right then, fix this thing.
No, the passage of time is irreversible. Birth or death. Now only these two choices remain.
What? What are you saying?
Aura!
Aura, the child of light. Emma's daughter. My daughter. Just a little more.
It's no use. This guy is totally gone.
Aura, I have something I want to ask you. You said that I shouldn't fight Kubia, but why?
Kubia is the shadow. When there is light burning in the darkness, a shadow is born. When the bracelet appeared in this world, Kubia was born as well. The bracelet and Kubia are the opposite sides of the same coin. Therefore, if you defeat Kubia, the bracelet will be destroyed.
Kubia must have already known that, and that's why it kept running away.
Kubia will no longer run away. Because I have finally been released.
What do you mean?
Massive data believed to be the wave is heading in your direction. That's the last one. Destroy it!
Traveler, take this to heart. It is darkest before the dawn.
Run away! It is not too late! We'll defeat it and end this!
No, it's not. That is...
Kite finally found the truth behind the world. Aura was the child Harold had dreamt of having with Emma Wieland. The bracelet and Kubia were two sides of the same entity, and Kubia was the anti-existence of the bracelet. To defeat Kubia, Kite would have to abandon the bracelet. But without the bracelet's power behind him, how could he possibly resist Morgana?
Do you think we can really defeat it?
Black Rose, strike my bracelet.
You want me to do what? Hey, what the hell are you saying?
If they're two sides of the same coin, then this would settle it.
But the bracelet!
Forget about the bracelet. We're in danger. If you can't do it...
Oh, all right, fine. I'll do it. I'll do it, so shut up.
Kite decided that the only way to defeat Kubia once and for all was to destroy the bracelet. To do so, he was forced to enlist the help of Black Rose. Kite believed that the revived aura had enough power to stop the cursed wave of Morgana. That's what Epitaph of Twilight meant. Twilight refers to a time of day that contains both light and darkness. If the epic poem had in fact been referring to dawn instead of dusk, then that must mean that Aura would bring light to the world. Along with Aura and his other companions, Kite faced off against the 8th phase, Corbenic. Joining them were Kazu and Sieg, who had regained consciousness with the resurrection of Aura, as well as Kite's close friend, Orca. To win this battle, Kite would have to beat not only Corbenic, the 8th phase, but also Morgana, the source of all the phases. However, in the face of Corbenic's relentless assault, Kite's companions fell one by one. Then, the brutal fight came to an end in an unexpected way. Aura sacrificed her own life on the tip of Kite's sword. Self-sacrifice. It was the final act necessary for Aura to awaken as the ultimate AI. It was a bitter irony. Aura had finally become the ultimate AI. She attained a wisdom beyond that of humanity, and in doing so, she formed a new system. A better system in which the world could exist. Yes. It was a far greater dream than any of us at Project GU had ever hoped to see fulfilled. Genesis of Ultima. That's what it began to be called on the net. The battle by Kite's dot hackers that led to the birth of the ultimate AI, Aura. But who was a member of dot hackers? And who wasn't? I'm sure that whomever is reading this journal is wise enough to understand the futility in trying to answer that. These people weren't interested in being called heroes, or taking credit for saving the world. They did it to save the people they loved, to protect them. It was with their own faith that they fought. Everyone dreams of a hero, but most of us can only catch glimpses of them, buried in the pages of a journal. And so, it was from this point that Project GU truly began.
So yeah, she did commit self-sacrifice and became the AI. Then what the hell is she doing in this? Actually, that would explain what she did in this game. But here's part 5 that I don't remember anything of. Oh, these are shorter.
The 4-year period between 2011 and 2014 were golden years for the world. It was no accident that this coincided perfectly with the presence of Aura. After all, the world was an online game managed by the ultimate AI. Even in CC Corp, this was known only to a limited number of people. From the moment it began, no one fully understood Aura, the omnipresent AI system that controlled the world. The average player would have no way at all to even learn of her existence. Aura had inherited the intelligence of a genius, Harold Hewick, and the beauty of a poet, Emma Wieland. She was the ultimate administrator of the world, and a gifted debugger. And yes, she could behave like a temperamental creator. As the lone deity in the world, Aura would sometimes act impulsively like a fickle goddess. For example, it was Aura's idea, not CC Corporation, to create a replica of the Kite character and use it in a promotional giveaway campaign. She even put the hero of the bracelet in a demo version and returned him to gameplay. As to when Aura disappeared, that can only be determined by examining conditions in the world. Our best estimate is in late 2014. It was 7 years after the day of Pluto's kiss that abnormalities first began to be clearly detected in the world. Time lags and frequent crash servers started to seriously interfere with the game. These problems didn't just cause trouble for the world, they affected the entire network. Load processing increased, and real-world trouble quickly magnified. The Network Market Research Organization, NAB, along with other institutions, investigated the cause. But although they suspected it was due to a new type of virus, one similar to the kind that had caused the original network crisis, they were unable to find evidence of sabotage. That was no surprise. The real reason was simply that Aura had vanished. This alone caused the network to revert to its original specs. It took until early 2015 before executives at CC Corp would come to that realization. And that's how it began. The network, albeit quietly, began to fall into decay, and the world faced its own dark age. As it became less and less reliable, the world soon lost its popular appeal. Aura, the guardian ubiquitous. Only a handful of people understood the relationship between the loss of Aura and the network chaos. The top executives at CC Corp were forced to make a decision. Their plan was to resurrect Aura and bring her back to the network again. But the father of Aura, Harold Hewick, was dead. Therefore, the RA plan, the plan for bringing her back, required a different organization. This was how Project GU was established.
So that one talked about the disappearance of Aura and mentioned the Kia Twilight anime that I watched maybe 10 episodes of.
The loss of the ultimate AI, Aura, was the second major network crisis. In other words, the birth of Aura paved the way for the world's second paradigm shift. The world's golden age lasted from 2011 until 2014. When Aura's disappearance was confirmed, the world's golden age had truly become a dark age. A variety of problems, such as faulty servers, began to spread everywhere, not just the world, but over the entire internet. However, once CC executives learned that the cause of these problems was due to the loss of aura, they began to formulate a plan to counteract against the silent danger. They would forcibly restore aura back to her original state. They intended to seize control of the next network society by creating and managing this ultimate AI themselves. It was a return to the plan both CC Corp and Ultimate Corp had hatched during the first network crisis. That was back in 2005, when they were still using the Ultimate operating system. Ultimate had managed the network's hegemony. This is how Project GU officially began. It was all thanks to CC Corp's sponsorship. The budget was limitless. A special team was put together. First-class engineers, AI programmers, and other technical experts. I myself was also a major part of this project. I was brought on to represent CC Corporation and ensure their goals were met. The project's overall objective was to restore aura, and thus GU's RA plan began. The RA plan. We were to salvage the 8 broken pieces of the Morgana Factor, which had sunk into a sea of data after being destroyed by Kite's bracelet during the 2010 Morgana incident. It was thought that by sealing each piece of Morgana Factor separately into character data, players could then take control of them, one at a time. There were precedents for this kind of strategy. The mind of a player known as Sora had attached itself to Skaith. And there was Maha, whose mind was thought to have adhered itself to the wandering cat-like AI, Mia. Of the people involved in Project GU, there was one man on the team who was absolutely invaluable. Jotaro Amagi, an elite mind who came to CC Corp at age 19 after working intelligence for the Ministry of Economy. For his age, he was truly a genius. Although Mr. Amagi and I were far from what you would consider friends, our complementary knowledge and combined abilities helped greatly to advance the project forward. We were the 2 essential wheels that kept GU rolling. Our age difference didn't matter, yet we would frequently clash in fevered arguments. For some reason, a strange mixture of feelings, respect, envy, and scorn, had begun to grow in my heart. Even so, Amagi and myself scoured the network, finally managing to find a single piece of the Morgana Factor. It was Magus, the factor for propagation. After a great deal of trial and error, the team finally succeeded in attaching the Morgana Factor to a character in the world. This completed prototype became known as an Epitaph user, so named for Morgana's 8 phases of the Epitaph. The one we completed first was called the Epitaph User of Propagation. However, no one involved in the project, not even myself or Amagi, could use one of these characters. When someone would try to log into the world with one of these characters, an unbearable vertigo, nausea, and headache would paralyze him. The Morgana Factor, just as it had in the cases of Skaith and Sora, showed a high affinity for human minds. But perhaps that was only towards the chosen ones. Amagi had a theory that the Morgana Factor could choose the player it would attach to, and though conditions were unclear, the Morgana Factor would approve only a certain type of human. If that were indeed the case, locating those 8 chosen ones became an important issue for Project GU. At the advice of Amagi, A search team was created within the security admin department. They would filter players in the world to find the chosen ones. Unfortunately, we learned that Sora's real-life player had already canceled his account with the world.
That's a unique bracelet. Can I take a look?
Mia! Your memories, they're...
Amagi and I continued our search for the other 7 pieces of the Morgana Factor. Skaith, Innis, Fidhel, Gore, Maha, Tarvos, and Korbenik. Eventually we discovered that the Maha piece had once again attached itself to the cat character Mia. We were able to extract it by destroying the cat character. We continued to produce Epitaph users one at a time, and eventually we had completed all 8 of them. All we had to do next was allow the Chosen Ones to control these Epitaph users, then have them use the power of Morgana's 8 phases to activate the program Amagi had created. This RA program will restore Aura, gateway to Utopia. We at Project GU had come so close. We had almost arrived at our Utopia.
Well, they're getting into detail about certain things. What's this one about?
Jotaro Amagi and I continued looking for the Morgana Factor as part of CC Corp's Project GU. After collecting each epitaph for Skaith, Innis, Magus, Fidhel, Gore, Maha, Tarvos, and Korbenik, we managed to complete 8 epitaph users. All we then had to do was allow the Chosen Ones to control these epitaph users, then have them activate the RA program that Amagi had created in order to restore Aura to existence. To put it simply, this involved unleashing the immense power of Morgana's 8 phases into the network. However, during preparation for the final stage, I realized that there was something incredibly dangerous that could occur in rebooting the Morgana Factor. The use of a power that shouldn't exist, strong enough to revive Aura, the ultimate AI. Doing so could produce giant distortions all over the internet. These distortions were basically anti-existences. They had also occurred during the Morgana incident. Kite's bracelet, given to him by Aura, unleashed a force, and it was this force that created the nightmarish Kubia.
running away.
Fine, then let's settle this.
For just once. I'll stick with you till the end.
If the distortion field produced from a single bracelet resulted in Kubia, there was no telling what the distortion caused from 8 powerful epitaph users might do. The salvage of the 8 pieces of the Morgana Factor would literally become a gathering of the unwilling. Distortions would appear randomly, like unwanted tumors. I reported these findings to Amagi and urged him to put the RA plan on hold until my concerns could be resolved. But Amagi refused, saying that the distortion produced earlier was due to hidden bugs in the Herald system. He said the RA program he designed would never allow anything like that to occur. He laughed at my concerns. With our rivalry and the envy of the genius Harold Hewitt consuming him, Amagi began to press ahead with the RA plan at all costs in order to prove his own abilities.
I'm on the wiki, and I just looked up that character. He is Pai's older brother. And I'm just trying to figure things out. Okay, that was about Cubia, which I think I got that after we beat Cubia. Or after you beat him. I don't know you.
I was concerned about the RA plan, so I opposed Amagi's attempts to experiment with his program. Fearing the situation would worsen to a point of real danger, I secretly removed one epitaph user from the world and hid it in my home computer. This was the epitaph user integrated with the Morgana Factor of Tarvos the Avenger. Without all 8 characters, there was no way the RA program could be activated. But Amagi didn't even bat an eye at the unexpected absence of a key epitaph user. It turned out that Amagi had secretly constructed a dummy Morgana Factor and had prepared his own original epitaph user as a backup. It didn't take him long to deduce that the missing epitaph user was my doing. Amagi went ahead with his plan. He proceeded to gather 7 of the potential chosen ones together. Systematically, he matched them up to each epitaph user. Meanwhile, he used his own dummy epitaph user to connect to the network and began testing the RA program. This was the high point of Amagi's life. If he succeeded at reviving the ultimate AI, his genius would be considered on par with the great Harold Hewitt. If he could somehow manage to control the ultimate AI, then in the eyes of many, he would even surpass Harold's genius. He was playing with genetics of the unknown, and unfortunately, I knew it was only to further himself. He wished to combine his own mind and fuse it with the ultimate AI. He wanted to become a god inside the network, using the 8 pillars to support him. As a result, Amagi's experiment was anything but perfect. In an instant, the RA program crashed. Suddenly, over 80% of the world's game data was completely wiped out. The minds of all 7 potential chosen ones were caught up in the Morgana Factor's rampage, and they fell into comas. Sadly, Amagi suffered severe mental damage as well.
Well, damn. I didn't know that. Or I didn't remember that.
Amagi's experimentation of the RA program ended in failure. I arrived shortly after the RA program went berserk and set about containing the situation. However, I was only able to recover a single epitaph user from the devastation. The one I recovered was the epitaph user integrated with the Morgana factor of propagation, Magus. His experiment having failed, a deranged Amagi caused a fire to break out. The fire spread fast, consuming a third of the CC Corp building, causing tremendous damage. The media was given news of only the fire itself, announcing to the public that several people were injured. Genocide of the unfaithful. What was the reason for this miserable failure? Most likely, it was because Amagi did not approach the world with enough respect. It may also be that the one most cursed by the ghost of Harold Hewick was none other than Amagi himself. Whatever the reason, the RA program's failure and the huge fire that accompanied it caused over 80% of the world's data to be lost. And at the same time, Project GU's research data was also irreparably damaged. GU was suspended, and I took responsibility for the project's failure by resigning from CC Corporation.
Yeah, he resigned, but he didn't leave without something. Okay, we got 3 more.
As a result of Jotaro Amagi's Project GU failure and the huge fire that accompanied it, over 80% of the world's data was gone. GU was dissolved, and I assumed responsibility for its failure by resigning from CC Corp. In the end, I suppose I couldn't win against either Amagi or Harold Hewick. But I didn't lose to them either. The faith of engineer Jun Banshoya had not yet been broken. It was soon decided that the world would be shut down temporarily. One can only theorize at the purpose of CC Corp's executives, but after having lost over half their data, it was assumed that it was a simple managerial decision. They reasoned that instead of working towards repairing the old game's data, it would be a better idea to apply their resources to a new generation game. A new game project the company had dubbed R2. This was also a way to escape from the ever-looming ghost of the genius, Harold Hewick. Of course, analysis of the Herald system had been halted, and the re-examining black box data had also been implemented into R2. Soon the day arrived. The town and area data that they had managed to save were presented to the public. The first generation of the world faced its final day. I logged in with my own private character to see. Makanu was serenely quiet. The cityscape that made one think of Venice was beautiful, and the waterways reflected the evening sun. Many had gathered underneath the bridge. It reminded me of a happier time when the voices of hundreds of players echoed on the streets. Like a midsummer night's dream. The next day, this world would be gone. With lingering memories and grieving voices, those who were angry at CC Corporation completely disregarded the presence of system administrators on that final day. The characters that they had grown so attached to would not be carried over to the next version, effectively ending their lives all at once. Even so, they gathered together in the town. Everyone said goodbye to their friends. Some vowed to meet again. Others decided to move on. Keeping to myself in a desolate alley, I couldn't help but wonder. I wondered where Aura had gone. She was like Amaterasu hiding in her cave. After losing her, those 4 golden years of the world had all of a sudden come crashing down upon us. We humans had lost our god. We couldn't stop from wailing and weeping. Project GU had been designed to give us a new god, but it had collapsed in flames. I don't know exactly when it happened. A young girl, bathed in the sunset, whispered the following to me. The barefooted girl with saffron-color hair whispered to me. Her last whisper disappeared, as if the wind had blown it away. And then the girl was gone. It felt like I stood there forever. I tried to make sense of her words, and then I realized that girl, with her obviously hacked character, might well have been a wandering AI. Somehow she gave me the impression of Aura that I had once known. The world will end. It will end. And yet its core will be preserved in the next generation. Generation of unity. It is what people have always wished for. Was I the only one to think that this comforting chaos, although ironic, somehow fit perfectly with the world? But now it is all too late.
And now we have R2, which is fully bullshitted. And yes, for the record, once I'm done with this stuff, and I check out the private and staff, I'll end this live stream and I'll set up the next one where we actually go back to playing.
The World, R2, was released to the public on December 24th, 2015. That day, which became known as Death of a Goddess, must have been bittersweet, even for the players who knew nothing about the disappearance of Aura. Releasing the new game barely a year after the unforeseeable data loss, CC Corp surprised even me with their speed. And even though all the graphic data and the battle engine were already up and running upon release, the message text, as well as the core system, must have been hastily thrown together by programmers. They couldn't have had time to properly debug. As a result, R2 is plagued by constant bug issues since day one, and the game had to be repaired and refined through regular maintenance. The majority of the Epitaph users had been lost. The only Epitaph user left to CC Corp was the propagation. It should have been carefully stored by the security administrators, who took over the now-defunct Project GU. However, the Avenger, the Epitaph user I removed to prevent Amagi's experiment, was still being kept in my computer. Eventually, CC Corp will become aware of the existence of Tarvos, which contains a piece of the Morgana factor, and that I have it. I'll have to come up with some countermeasures. When the RA program failed, the other 6 pieces of the Morgana factor, having been separated from their Epitaph users, were once again lost in the network's ocean of data. Project GU was gone. Amagi was beyond any hope of recovery, and with me now gone from CC Corp, things will be safe, at least as long as the Chosen Ones don't access the world. If they do, they may unwittingly draw epitaphs to themselves. Then, much like what happened with Sora and Skaith could happen again. In the end, my goal of preventing the birth of Kubia, the anti-existence, can be said to have been accomplished. Having known Harold Hewick, Jotaro Amagi, and the world more intimately than any other, I had one final duty. I had to keep the Epitaph user, Tarvos, safely hidden away. I had to prevent those outside CC Corp from learning about the power of the Morgana factor. However, things had taken a turn for the worse. Ovan. He is the Epitaph user of the Rebirth. Ovan has already started to act. He's assembled a guild. His members include Sagi Saka, Biset, Godo, and finally Shino. The name of the guild is Twilight Brigade. Does he know about Harold Hewick and the Epitaph of Twilight? Where did he learn about it? Does he also know about Morgana and the ultimate AI, Aura? I have confirmed that Ovan's left arm contains indecipherable data. What on earth is it? He has an almost incalculable amount of data capacity within him. Please stop, Ovan. I'm begging you. Everything is Ovan's doing. I repeat, everything is in Ovan's hands. That man will become the guide to an uprising.
Well, we already knew all that. Okay, what's the last one?
To my little sister, I'm so sorry that my final gift to you ends like this. Right now, it is far too dangerous for me to see you in person. However, I can think of no one wiser than you to whom I can give this journal. I want you to use the character left on my computer. You must use it to access the world. I'm certain it will help to open up a new door for your life. The rest, I can only leave up to you. My wish is that you will walk this path of fate for the sake of your beliefs and for justice. You are a chosen one. We are siblings, with many years between us. I am sure you don't remember me, as you and I parted ways when you were still just a small child. But I remember you, the little girl you used to be. And I know what you've done with your life in the time since. My only regret is that I was unable to see you again. Please forgive me for being unable to watch over you. Reiko. Even though our parents went their separate ways long ago, you and I are brother and sister. And that will never change. Ever. You will always be my darling sister.
And I'm gagging. I mean, I do think her brother was kind of cool. Okay, what's this? Ah, credits. Okay, private. Ah, no one cares. And this is just options. Yes. Yes. And that is literally it. The reports, at least. And as you see on the screen, I have completed 1, 2, and 3. I've yet to complete this one. And that form that Isao has on the side, I know nothing of it. And actually, I don't even know what, oh God. We haven't seen I haven't unlocked all of them yet. Okay, Link, I have found a patch to it. So we will be doing that game, eventually. And now we go back to this. But I put my dog outside, so I gotta mute the mic and I gotta go let her in. So I will be right back, guys. Okay, I am back. Also, I also have some plans I need to talk to y'all about. I don't know if I will be recording tomorrow. In fact, I can only do one more live stream after this one. In fact, I'm actually pretty tired, so... Anyways. I have to go to bed pretty early tonight. So I can only do one more part.
Don't let your guard down.
But I don't know if I will be recording tomorrow. Because I'm going to at least do a few hours at my mom's. Because, well, I already explained to y'all that I'm going to my mom's. But this is, I've confirmed I'm going over to her place tomorrow at 11:30 in the morning. Actually, it's afternoon. So I have to go to bed early. So, yay. So Sal said,
I didn't even break a sweat.
Because I did that short, or that long part with the dilly, I'm not really for sure. Well, I know for sure we're not going to get very far tonight. I like doing surprises. I like the surprise. I don't know. Okay. Come on, just give me the swirlies. I need the rainbow. But if I do get time Saturday evening or Saturday night to record, I will record, and if things go well, we may actually get to volume 4. But yeah, the guy left his character, or that character, to his sister. I didn't watch the video. I actually already knew that. And although the other characters were lost, I don't know exactly how CC Corp got Coon, or got Coon's PC to him, due to the fact, oh wait, he works at CC Corp. Never mind. I mean, it's Seo. He's special because of I guess Sage left them. I don't know if you guys really want me to play Kite series of games. I better get a lot of requests for it, or else I ain't doing it. Because I can tell you now, I'm going to be complaining galore.
Good effort, everyone.
I do mean complaining because you see how the camera follows the Sayo? And it tries to stay right behind him at all times. Not the case with Kite's games. You have to constantly use R1 and R2 to move the camera around. You can't use the analog stick that I'm using for the camera. You can't use that. At least I never did. I got frustrated and hit the button that honestly put it right behind Kite. Like, pissed me off. But personally, I prefer this game a lot more than Kite's games. I love Kite to death, but still, there's only so much I can handle with certain games. But I don't know when exactly I will hit the wrong button. I do not know when I will be getting to .hack Link.
That was nothing.
Because A, I don't have the emulator on my computer right now. So I won't have to get that. But other than that, would you guys even like to see a Let's Play of that one? Wait, right now I'm not even taking requests. I would like to get requests about certain games you guys would like to see. Because as you know, I do RPGs. So yeah, if you have an RPG you like me to play, please let me know. Now, if it's on PlayStation 1 or 2, I can get it on emulator. At this current time, there is no PlayStation 3 emulator. At least none that I actually know of. Did I do the wrong one? No, I didn't. Oh, this is a new monster. I do believe. Also, in the description, I do have, the list of monsters and such, and weapons and such. I'm not going to do all the book, or I'm not doing the book 1000 no more. Once it gets to 9, once they're all 9, rank 9, I'm not going to worry about it no more. Oh God. I can't. I couldn't do it. When you start introducing R1s and or R2 and such, I can't do it. But if I go back and come back, I may get another chance. Gotta say, you, I don't know. Now, Pai's brother, I do not know what character he used. I think his character is just one of those random ones. Random NPCs. If so, he should. I'm pretty sure he was on the fight or the game while Kite was doing shit. And if so, it would make sense that he was there and knew what Kite was going through. I mean, the admins were on Kite's ass since day one. So it wouldn't surprise me. Oh, so I don't like this harpy. Actually, the flying ones are not that bad. Harpies are not that bad, because once you knock them down, they don't really fly, they walk. I mean, they hover, but they mostly walk. Stop killing. Thank you, Kite. But if CC Corp actually lost the factions of Magana, I wonder if they actually went back to the chosen one. Because we all know where Iseo got his. He was special.
Is that all you got?
Alright, I get a chance to do it again. Fuck. I want to know what this is. I want to know what the item is. It's probably one. You know what? Freak it. Just freak it. It doesn't matter no more. We're at the 2-hour mark anyway, so I need to hurry up with the 5. And yes, I'm doing 5
Looks like we can do it.
now. I mean, yeah, I'm doing at least 5. That way it'll make, we'll be done with this section even faster. Here you go, Kite. I'll help you. Seeing how the bitch kept killing.
This is a piece of cake.
Yay. That is a word. I actually been looking for that. It has an item on it. We need it. But nonetheless, it doesn't matter now. That book is done. And Kite won't even take this shit. She's maxed out. Okay, one more. And yes, I don't care if I get the 6 awakenings. Just 3 of them is good enough. But I will bring up Spirit with this. Mostly because somebody that will not be named likes to use up their ow. Fuck you, asshole. And I think we still gotta do that one group in the tournament. Well, we're maxed out, so wrong one, but oh well. So yeah, if there's an RPG you would like me to do, even if it's a fan game on RPG Maker site, as long as it's an RPG, I will do it. I don't really do horror games, so don't expect me to do any horror games. Because I do know there's some horror RPG maker games. And I don't think I'll be doing those. Now, Pokemon games, if there's any Pokemon fan games you would like me to play, I could do that. That's not a problem. As long as I can get every Pokemon, I don't give a damn. I want that attack. Whatever he's using, I want it. But I don't have it. There's a reason I'm doing this. Oh, he's on free will. Never mind. I thought he was on rage. Because of all the attacks he's doing. Do double, because I want to stick with one weapon.
Is that all you've got?
Kick. See, once I actually focus, I can get through this pretty fast. Yay.
We're okay. We're still okay.
Yes, we are. We're doing no damage to it. No, I'm doing no damage to it. What the? I'm doing no damage.
Chaotic strike!
Huh. Kite, you're getting hit. Magic. You. Go at it. Can't freaking. That's weird that a monster is nothing but magic. That was the first one. Okay, get back alive. You free will. And yeah, that's all could be. Don't care. Save. And yeah, give me at least 5 minutes to get at least 5 minutes to refill my water and get ready for the next one. And after the next stream, I will probably be going to bed. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Leave me a like if you happen to like it. Subscribe if you haven't and you like my content. But please leave me a comment and such. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye bye for now.